Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks with Captain, and today I'd like to talk about Super Pershing as of 9.7. Now this thing should have gone HD a patch ago, but it didn't because Wargaming screwed it up. But according to 9.8 patch notes, this tank is supposed to be rolling out in full HD. Now the Pershing and the Super Pershing, they're very different tanks. The Super Pershing is punctuated by how slow it is. You can see everything is passing me, including the heavy tanks that are more like medium tanks, the FCM. I'm getting passed by the VK, and I would have been passed by the EZ8. So, what the Super Pershing does not possess is speed. What it also does not possess is a very good gun. It has pretty much exactly the same gun as the Pershing, but slightly worse in just about every way. And honestly, I would like to propose a change. And it will never happen, but I can propose it anyway. I think the Super Pershing would actually be kind of cool if they made it a full matchmaking tank, so then they wouldn't have to get rid of it, because they're doing a clean sweep on seemingly all the premium tanks, especially the special matchmaking ones, like the Super Pershing. My proposition is that they may get a full matchmaking tank and give it a gun similar to this Pershing in War Thunder. Alright, so this is the medium tank M26 E1 Pershing. It's a premium tank in War Thunder, and as you can see, it has a much longer barrel than the regular Pershing does. So you get higher velocity. You also have 216 pen, 202 at higher ranges at 500 meters. So if we could split the difference somewhere in between 216 and 210, maybe like 210 as far as pen, this is the gun I would like to see on the Pershing if it had full matchmaking. And if it had that gun in War Thunder with 210 pen, just 240 alpha damage, nothing special, they could even lengthen out so it takes longer to shoot. Then Pershing would have similar things to what they have in the new premium tanks that they've introduced into the game, like the CDC. What does the CDC bring to the table? It's super fast, and it has a really decent gun, so you can basically snipe with it, and it works. Now, what the Super Pershing has currently, to compensate for its pretty mediocre bad gun, is special matchmaking. So get rid of that, then they could just give it a good gun, and it could have the new armor it's getting in the next patch. It could have the same crappy mobility that it currently has, except it would have a good gun, so it could fight it out with whatever they want to put it up against. So if it had the 210 pen gun, and they could mess with the accuracy a little bit, you know, make it accurate, higher velocity cannon, I think that would be pretty cool. Now, most people probably think that's a dumb idea, but I have a pipe dream. I want it to have a very similar gun to the M56 Scorpion. I think it's M56? Yeah, whatever. I want it to have a gun that's more similar to the Scorpion. I think this tank would be more cool if it was like a heavy tank, because that's basically what it is, because it's mobility. And the only way that I would be able to get that from Wargaming is if I decided that we had to, you know, get rid of something. And getting rid of something would be the special matchmaking. This is probably the last game I'm going to show of the Super Pershing before it gets turned to HD and it gets its buff, as they're calling it. So I block a shot from the SU-100Y because I wanted to get a shot on that fella there. So I got pretty lucky. I could have taken a whole schwack load of damage. Let's see where that went. Looks like it went right into the gun mantlet. What the Super Pershing is blessed with, though, is pretty good gun depression. And that's one of the things I do like about my Super Pershing. And there's an SU-100Y. He's going to shoot at me. But he doesn't shoot at me. He shoots at my little EZ8 friend. Because he's a dirtbag. Now, things on the beach weren't looking very good. So I'm going to try and just hold this area. Pal Sour there is in his FCM at 34 hit points, so he's not looking too hot. Now, I was not really too keen on pulling out in front of those guys, but we had 2 FCMs popping out, so I thought I would go out with everyone else and take a shot at the Ferdinand. So I was able to hit him in his little corner cheek weak spots. And now I make a mistake because I thought I could get around and I could shoot him in the same spot again. But it was orange and I didn't roll high enough, and then I got ammo racked. So, not a good trade at all. Bit of bad play for me. And then I got really lucky because I managed to bounce a shot, I'm not entirely sure where, off the side of my tank, over the side of the turret, from the SU-100Y, and he's still aiming at me, or someone over here. And I'm going to come around, and I'm going to put a shot into this guy and finish him off. And my tracks were blown off, even though they didn't really look blown off. And we're rapidly running out of tanks. We pretty much only got me, Sour, and Centurion, who's on the beach, but I can't see how well he's doing. And we've got an AFK VK, who is sat in the cap and didn't play this game. So we were tanked down the entire game. Now, in chat, I'm telling Sour, I'm going to go up, and I am going to flank said Borsig right here. And he got really lucky, because he just got hit by the Borsig and he didn't die. And even on flat ground, you can see the Super Pershing really struggles to even get to 30, which is pretty terrible. Almost every other heavy tank in the game can do 30 plus, except for maybe a Tog. So I've prepared for this Borsig by loading HE, and he's going to come through, he's going to stop. I'm going to hammer him for 338, which is pretty good for an HE roll. He fires, he misses, which is great. So I'm going to stop, I'm going to reload, put another shot on him for 304, and that's going to be just about it for this fellow right here. Because he had the big gun, he had like a 17-second reload, and now he's dead. But unfortunately for Sour, he runs into the Dicker Max and the Tiger II, and again, the Super Pershing isn't really that fast, and so I'm not really going to be able to get over there to help. Pretty bad. But I do have 600 hit points left. That's pretty good. But we're winning. But that Tiger has more hit points than I do. And if he hits me twice, odds are I'm dead. So I've got to play this pretty smart. And I thought he might come back to the Cap to try and protect his Cap, thinking I might roll onto the Cap. But we do have 2 artilleries and our AFK dude, who unfortunately is never going to come back. And he's going to blow up at the end of the game. Now I'm going to wait. And as you can see, I've got my Canadian flags on here. I've got these on here especially for my pal chase. Now we're rolling up to the next corner. And I think, okay, there's a Tiger down here. Oh, and look at that. Spot the Tiger II. He's turning, he's turning. Wanted to make sure I penned that shot, so I aimed most of it. And I'm not going to roll out in front of the Tiger II again. But then I see that he's heading to the left, because I thought, maybe he's going to go the other way. So I'm going to move up again to the next street over here and see if maybe I can catch him out. And I always have to keep in mind that the Tiger II is a heavy tank and he is faster than me. But at like 300, 400 meters, unless he stops to aim, it's going to be a little bit hard to hit my weak spots. And those weak spots are going to get hopefully a little bit better in the next patch. The M40 was nice enough to come out and actually not be a shitbag, which was good, because most artillery are like that. They will just hide in the back. They would let me die. But he actually came out and played like a man. So, hats off to him. Now I've rolled up because of the spotting of the artillery, put a nice good side shot into the side of the Tiger II, and I'm going to reload. and it's not going to be too much longer before the Tiger II is dead. Stop. I'm going to pull out. I'm going to aim. And I didn't really have too much aim to do because I kind of pre-aimed the area in the first place. And we won! And this happened to be a mastery qualifying game for the Super Pershing, only doing 3,600 damage. And 5 kills. Not a terrible game for the Super Pershing. Armor held up for 830. Now, from what I understand, the Super Pershing in the next patch is going to have a improved upper plate, and that's where you're going to get the layered armor functioning better through the front of the tank. And from what I could see in the pictures, I'm not sure if this part is entirely the same. I can't quite tell from some of the pictures I've seen, but I think this mantlet bit is raised up higher than what it is currently on this model. So it'll be interesting to see how much different the armor profile looks on the newer tank compared to what it looks like on this tank. But what I'm hoping for is for that the tank won't have heat rounds like go through the front like from an Object 416, because I remember vividly getting shot through my upper plate, like right here, like right the center of the upper plate. And that was a heat round because it was 330 heat round on a medium tank at tier 8, which is ridiculous. So hopefully when this tank gets its armor change, I won't even call it an armor buff because I don't know if it's a buff yet. We'll see whether it actually improves the tank or not, having a more correctly modeled, according to Wargaming, correctly modeled armor profile for the tank. But this will be the last Super Pershing game as a 9.7. Thanks for watching, guys, and say goodbye to the Super Pershing in its current form. Ciao, guys.